Hi everyone, I'm Kim from Cowgirl Biz, and it is nice and hot here in Colorado in the middle of the summer. That's what you expect in July. We decided that we would continue our summer school of all the fun SEO things, especially after our dear friend and colleague inside our Facebook group, April from Cactus Tales, took our audit a few weeks back, and she said, oh, wow, I could really use some help with how to fix your SEO audit score. So I have joined forces today with Caitlin. I'll have her introduce herself here in about a minute. And we are going to take you through what to know about your SEO audit score and some of the quick things that you can do to fix and raise your score. So let's go ahead and move forward to introducing you to Caitlin. Go ahead, Caitlin.
Hi, everyone. As you said, my name is Caitlin. I am co-owner of Wildflowers and Barley. We make custom hats and handmade hat and hair accessories. So we dip our hands in a lot of things. We have a retail storefront. We sell online. We go to different shows, and then we also offer wholesale. I am Google certified, so I took the training offered by Google. I think there was like 7 or 8 different courses I had to take. And I really enjoy problem solving. So that's what we're here to do today.
Excellent. All right. As I mentioned, we're here today to talk about how to fix your SEO audit score. We're going to talk about what that report is, and we're focusing in on what the different score categories mean. Also trying to help you figure out where to focus, and again, what's actually worth fixing versus what you can ignore, and then what are the quick wins. So I believe everyone that's on the call has already taken the audit and gotten their report, but this is what it looks like as an example. It's a free service that Cowgirl Biz offers. You can find access to taking the report if you go to cowgirlbiz.com/SEO-Academy. On the right-hand side, you'll see an option for the free website SEO audit. What happens is you'll plug in your website, your name, and your email, and the system gets to work. And within a minute or two, you will receive via email your report. And it's a very thorough report. We've turned on some extra bells and whistles so that it gives you as much detail as possible about what you can fix, how to fix it, all those good things. So there's a lot that you can self-service do just by reading through the different aspects of the report. But as I mentioned, today we're going to kind of dig into what some of those categories mean for the scores and some of the things you can do for quick wins. Okay, so here's the report also in a little bit larger scale. This is the first page of the report. You'll get a main grade for the entire report. In this case, this example is a B-. And then we're going to talk about the different categories that you see right underneath it, the 5 different ones on the next screen here. So what do these score categories mean? The first one that comes up is on-page SEO, and this is perhaps the easiest thing to fix, and it's also the thing that can get you the quick wins if you haven't done these things. It is how well your individual pages and images are optimized for their keywords, and are your pages speaking Google's language? And don't worry, we will go into a little more detail on each of these. This slide right here is meant to give you an overview of what these are. In the links section, this is a measure of a couple things, internal links, backlinks, etc. And backlinks are one of those topics that we're going to touch on today and what they mean, but we are also going to reserve a whole nother session because getting your backlinks right and doing it in a way that really helps you and your business grow on Google is strategic and takes some time. So we're going to make sure we reserve some more time to go into that particular section. Usability, we hear this all the time, and you've probably even heard it from your customers. How user-friendly is your website, especially on mobile? We're going to talk about that today. And then performance. making sure your site speed and technology and load times. And this particular report has a lot of good metrics that give you clues on where you're sitting with all your different performance aspects. And then the last part of the score is your social. And I'm just going to hold on what that means until we get to that page and describe what you should pay attention to in that section of the report. Right. Okay, so Caitlin, I'm going to let you go ahead and give the overview here, and then we'll dig into how to do that on each one.
Yeah, so your site tag and title tag, meta description, image text, these are all things that you can really just super easily edit if you're in Shopify. So your title tag and meta description is essentially what people see when they see your URL on Google. Like if they type in, let's say they're searching for kids Western wear and your website pops up on the list, that description, this right here is what they're going to see. Image alt text is essentially text that is attached to an image. It helps people who have vision impairment, so like their computer can read the description of the image to them, but it also really helps Google in providing your products to people who are searching for them. And then page headings, this is just going to tell Google and anyone searching on your website like what is happening on your page, what your products are. It tells people like what's going on essentially.
Right.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about here is your main site title tag and meta description. So if you are in Shopify, in your back end, you're going to go over to the left-hand side on your sales channel and you're going to click on online store. Then you're going to go down and click on preferences and you will see where it says social sharing image and SEO. Your homepage title tag, that's basically the main description of your website. It's recommended that you stay between 50 to 60 characters. I think you can use up to 70 on Shopify.
Yeah.
And then your meta description is basically kind of just like a little bit longer of a description of what people can find on your website, the type of products you offer or services you offer, anywhere from 120 to 160 characters. Shopify, I think, goes all the way up to like 380 or something like that. If you're not sure what to put here, and I know we'll touch on this a little bit later, you can use something like ChatGPT or any sort of AI function to help you determine what you should be putting in these places. So you essentially are just going to put it in there and hit save, and then you're good to go.
And you just updated yours, correct, this week?
I did. I only did mine like 2 or 3 days ago. And then if you see over here on the right-hand side, this is now what it looks like. If you search for wildflowers and barley hats on Google, my website comes up, and then that's exactly what you're going to see.
Nice.
All right, alt text, again, super easy. It can be time consuming if you have a lot of products or product images, but it's very easy to do. You're going to go into your product editor. So essentially you go to your products, you click on the product that you want to edit. Then all you have to do is actually click on the photo itself. It's going to open up your photo editor. And then you'll see a little space over there on the right-hand side that says alt text. And that's where you're going to put the description of what you see in the picture. So this one, I believe, says like kids custom, suede fedora, kids cowboy hat. Like you want to put keywords in there essentially so that Google knows what is in this picture, because Google can't see the picture, it can only see the text. So you want to do that for as many products as possible. You also want to do it for any pictures that you have on your website that are not attached to products. So if you have photos on your main page that maybe shows someone using your product or something like that, you want to go in and add alt text to those too. And then you just
we have sorry, one more thing. We have a business in our Facebook group that I remember even a few months ago, all she had done, that's all she did, was do alt text, and her score, not so much on the report, but her SEO score, when we looked at it in the SEMrush tool, which we use to look at keywords and where your traffic is and all that kind of stuff. Her score had gone up simply by doing the alt text. So this is probably the top thing that I would recommend making sure, if you haven't done. It can be time consuming if you have a lot of products, but it is definitely one of the quick wins. So go ahead. Was there one more thing you wanted to say, Caitlin?
No, that's pretty much it for alt text. It's again, it's easy. It's just you just got to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about headings. Again, this is kind of just like categorizing what is happening on your website. If you use Shopify, it's going to do most of this for you. So when you put in your title page that we just talked about a few slides back, that's a heading. That's like heading number 1. What is your website about? Heading 2 is going to be if you have different sections on your main page. Each product has a name. That's also a heading. So Shopify is going to do all of that for you. There's not a lot you have to do in this area. As long as you're naming things properly, it's going to work.
And I thought it was interesting also that if you skip one, that Google doesn't like that. So what they want to make sure is if you've got the H1 and H2, don't skip to H4, make sure you use an H3. So that was interesting also to me on this one. Okay. All right. So I did not find in the report any specific information about product meta descriptions, but because this to me is very important for how Google finds you, I wanted to make sure we touch on this. So I'm going to let Caitlin chat about this, and then I'm going to share a few things also.
Yeah, so again, if you're in your product editor, you want to scroll down past the photos, past like the quantity you have in your store, and you're going to see these things called category meta fields. This is going to be like color, fabric, age group. If you scroll down even further, you'll see one that says Google meta fields, which is also going to have the same thing as like age group, condition, whether it's new or used, all of that. You want to put as much information in here as possible. It does 2 things. One, if people are using the search function on your store and they want to look for a brown shirt, if you have all of this information in there, it's going to help them find all the brown shirts that you have in your store. Same thing with Google, someone searching for something, like a kid's cotton pantsuit or something like that. Google's going to take the information that you've put in these meta fields and it's going to be able to pull that and show people your website and products.
And we started for Cowgirl Biz, we started a brand new playlist on our YouTube channel. So if you go to the YouTube and you go to Cowgirl Biz, you'll see a new SEO playlist. We're calling it, just for fun, we're calling it SEO the Cowgirl way, and I'll explain more about that in future episodes. But anyway, one of our first interviews that we did was with Lexi of the Wild Horse Co. And she actually has 2 recordings on our YouTube. The first is her story about how SEO impacted the growth of her business and the profits that she was able to see year over year. And then her second recording is step by step. Specifically, the reason it's on this page in particular is she goes step by step how she does her alt text for her images. She goes step by step how she does her product meta descriptions and shows you, for example, the category meta fields. And then she does an even extra bonus where she talks about how she double checks what Google is finding related to her images by doing a reverse image search. So make sure you tune into that because she has some extra steps related to all of this. All right. Okay, so one of the questions that I get asked is, should I use AI or ChatGPT to help generate my alt text and meta descriptions? And the answer is yes. If you're in a hurry and you just want to get this done, I highly do recommend just using AI or ChatGPT or one of your tools to go ahead and help you write your alt text and meta descriptions. Describe what the product is, describe the image, and have it help you. However, here's an example of if you want to go through the extra process of actually identifying your keywords, here's an example of what can happen. So for example, here on the left-hand side, I'm once again in Shopify, in the product description. I have circled here the AI tool that helps generate product descriptions. And I went ahead and put in the word tutu for this pink tutu dress here. And what it will do is it can create you the product description using that term. But if you have not done your keyword research and understand some of the things that we've been talking about in our SEO summer school emails. If you go back through our emails, you can find some more information on this. And we hope to also continue to provide you with additional information on how to do this. But for example, the word tutu in a keyword search, it does have the intent of, we've talked about intent, that the T means that they're ready to buy. It's called transactional intent. I means informational. So the word tutu definitely has the transactional ready to buy. It has fantastic search volume. But what keyword difficulty means is that and you can see, I believe it's orange. It's kind of hidden behind my mouse right now. What that means is it's going to be much harder for you to rank and be found for the word tutu if you're a smaller business or just getting started. So we highly recommend trying to do your keyword research, and or obviously Cowgirl Biz can help you with this. We recommend, if you can do your keyword research, you can find words that are much easier to rank for. So here's an example. If I was looking for other words we could use, and we have pink tutu. These are all transactional, meaning they're ready to buy. You can see the different volume, and most importantly, you can see the keyword difficulty. So what this means is the easiest one, even though it's the least volume, 720 search volume per month is actually still very, very good. But I am much more likely to have this product found because the keyword difficulty is in the green and it's 4, meaning I can very quickly show up higher in the Google search results if someone is searching for pink tutu dress. So the smartest strategy is do your keyword research, understand what keywords are easier to rank for, and then use it with AI. So then you would go back here to do the product description, and you would plug in pink tutu dress and have it help you generate your product description. So I just want to highlight that. And then as a little plug here, we do offer at Cowgirl Biz 2 keyword research Kickstarter packages. And I won't go into all these details because there's a lot here, but if you go to the cowgirlbiz.com shop, you can select the SEO and keyword research category, and we will help you do your keyword research. We'll look at your competitors, we'll help you know which keywords to use, and it'll just save you a lot of time so that you can, if you're going to take the time to put in your alt text or your product descriptions, might as well know what your keywords are that are going to be easier to rank for and help you convert those into actual sales. So. All right, next category is links. So I'll go ahead and turn this back over to Caitlin.
All right, so essentially links are links that are on your website or that link back to your website. So Google uses both internal and external links to decide how trustworthy your site is, basically making sure you're not a scam site. So internal links are how well your own pages connect to each other, and then backlinks are when other websites have your URL so people can click on it and visit your website. And I really like the Cowgirl friendly explanation here down at the bottom. It says, think of links like ranch roads. Internal links are paths between your own barns, and backlinks are highways from other ranches that say, this is a place worth visiting. Google follows these roads to decide where to send traffic.
And as I mentioned at the very beginning, backlinks is a subject that we will plan for a much more in-depth topic on. A lot of people go buying backlinks thinking the more I have, the better, and that's not the case. It can actually hurt your website with Google. So anything related to links, specifically backlinks, is powerful for long-term growth, but requires a lot more strategy. So again, we'll reserve another time frame that we can talk more about how to do backlinks and how to find them and how to get the good ones. But we do have a few more things to share on this.
Okay, so internal links are links between the pages on your own site. And then why they help. They pass SEO authority, so they basically increase your SEO, and then they keep people who are on your website engaged. And an excellent example is if you have a blog post on your website and then you're talking about a product and you put a link to that product, or maybe you're on a product page and people want to learn more about you before they buy a product, you have a link to your about page. Basically, just those links that are within all the things on your website and they link to different things.
Okay.
All right, external links, or what's also known as backlinks. These are much harder to obtain. So this is links from other websites to yours. And Google sees these links as votes of confidence, saying that your site is high quality. So how do you get them? Collaborations, working with your local press, having people write about your website, maybe on their own blog. A really easy one that you can do here is the Cowgirl Biz directory. It's free. You sign up. There's a link that goes right back to your website. That's one backlink that you have for you. One thing that I have done is I am part of some of our local small business like organizations. We have one called Illinois Local. So I'm out of Springfield, Illinois, and Illinois Local has a directory of all the local businesses that are part of their membership. So I have a backlink there. And then we have another one called Visit Springfield, which if you don't know, Springfield is the capital city of Illinois. So it's like this whole thing because everyone's like, oh, Chicago. No, it's Springfield. So Visit Springfield's like this big deal website where they talk about all the things you can do in Springfield. And I have a backlink from there to my website as well. Another way you can kind of think of backlinks is like relationship SEO, where you're building relationships with other businesses, other people, or like the press or something like that, where they're taking your website and mentioning it on their website.
Okay, great description. Great. Okay, so for the next category, this is usability. And I'm going to let Caitlin talk about this one as well.
So usability is a huge thing. How easy is it for people to shop on your website? This is something I like to talk about because I have visited a lot of websites built by small business owners and I can't find what I'm looking for. I don't know how to add things to cart, all of those things. If you're using Shopify, they make it pretty easy to make your website shoppable. But there are some things that you need to do that are also going to help you rank higher on Google. One thing is called device rendering, which means that your website will automatically change the way that it is viewed, whether someone is looking at it on a computer or on a smartphone or on a tablet. Now, Shopify does this for you pretty well, but some things that you want to keep in mind are like how large are the photo sizes that you're using. So like, for example, here, this is a picture of my website. You'll see that you can still read the things that are on the phone versus on the tablet. You don't want it to be off the screen, or you don't want to like, I don't know if you've ever opened something and then you can't find the X to close it because like the picture is too big. That's so annoying. Makes me want to leave the website, right? You don't want that to happen on your website. The one thing you also have to understand is that even though you're probably editing your website on a computer, 60% of your web traffic is coming from a mobile phone. So there are things that you can do within your Shopify online theme editor to see how it looks on a phone before you hit the save button and move on.
And what's great is the report for the SEO audit actually, those screenshots that are showing on this slide came right out of the report. So it'll show you. It's great from that perspective.
It's such a great tool. There's a lot of information in there. And then one of the other things was the favicon. So this is basically if you're on a website and you look at the like URL bar, there'll be a little tiny picture next to the website URL. That's a favicon. You can upload your logo. You can make like a separate logo. Like if you go over here for the Kids Western Emporium, they did like a close-up view of the little hat that's part of their logo. And for whatever reason, Google really cares about this. So you want to make sure you do it. It's super easy. You have to go into your theme settings. So if you're in your theme editor, like you're actually editing your website, off to the side, you'll see theme settings. You're going to click on that. You want to click on logo, and then you'll see where it says favicon image, and you want to add something in there.
Great. Yeah, surprisingly, it seems easy, but a lot of businesses don't have this done.
Yeah.
So, all right. Okay, the next category is performance. And once again, the report goes into a lot lot of details in this section. We're going to touch on just a few of them. You guys all know I love color, so when I see these little speed dials, I was like, oh, I love this one. It's got turquoise and red and all the fun stuff. Let's talk about this one first. So go ahead.
Okay, so performance speed essentially is how fast does your website load? Again, this is going to go back to like how big are the file sizes of your photos? Do you have a lot of videos on your website? One thing I noticed is I did have a video at the bottom of my website that would automatically play. I was like, oh, this is really cool and cute. Well, it actually made my website loading page for the homepage kind of slow. So I took that out because it really, didn't serve a purpose. Took that out. You can compress your images before you upload them. You can also just like do a Google search and say what is the optimum image size for images on Shopify, and it'll give you the pixels. And if you use Canva, you can just go in and just, that's what I do. I have like a preset template in Canva. I upload all of my photos to that, so I know that they'll be the right size and they'll still be high quality, and then I can save them and upload them to my website. If you have like a lot of apps on your store that are doing all of these things, that can also slow your website down. So you might need to take a look and see, like, do you need this app? What is the purpose of this one? Is it doing anything for you, kind of thing? Because again, if your website's really slow, people aren't going to sit around and wait for it.
And remember, the report is free. You can run it as often as you want. So I know we've had one business that ran it in mid-June, and then she came back and ran it again at the end of June, and I could see her score had started to change. So she's clearly working through some of the things in the report and then coming back. Now, also caveat, yes, you can run the report as many times as you want, but also remember that when you do make changes to your site and do some of these changes, give it a few days for Google to respond before you run your report. But yes, keep in mind that the report has so much detail about how to fix these things as well, that you can come back, in a few weeks and run your report again and hopefully see an improvement in your score. Okay, the last category is social. And I'm going to let Caitlin also speak about this one. This is, I'll just touch on the fact that it does try to figure out if you're on Twitter and LinkedIn and things that I know many people in our Western industry aren't necessarily using. So I'll have Caitlin speak about what is important in this section of the report.
Yeah, so like I personally, I'm not on Twitter or LinkedIn with my business, but I am on Facebook and Instagram. And if you are too, you want to have those linked to your website. It does a couple of things. It's another backlink. And then if people see your product and then they want to say, oh, like I want to see more from this brand, they can follow you on social media. That means that you're probably going to have repeat customers. It builds brand trust, brand awareness, all of that. One thing it talks here about is meta tags. So like open graph. If you're not sure what an open graph tag is, that's okay. It's essentially just part of a code that shows how your website shows up when someone shares it on Facebook or Instagram or something like that. So for example, if you were to copy the URL to my website and then go share it to Facebook, typically it shows a preview of the website on there, and how that looks, that's what the open graph is. This is determined by that thing that we talked about way at the beginning, where it's your meta tag, your meta description, and then you'll also notice there was a picture there that had, for me, it was my logo, which is the pink hat with the sprig on there. So if you upload all of that, when someone shares your website on social media, it's going to pop that same exact thing up that you would see on Google. If you don't have that, it's just going to look like a weird link and people probably aren't going to click on it. The other thing too is it's kind of reverse. If you are on social media, you want to have your website on there as well so that people can find your products.
Yep. All right. One more little plug here for Cowgirl Biz. If you need help with SEO, we are here for you. We can help you get on all the things that we're going to be talking about next week, which I also will show you what that's about. We can help you research and outrank or create a strategy to outrank your competitors. And we love all kinds of things and anything strategy, branding. We like to use the term, we are SEO infused in our branding strategies. So anyway, we're here to help you if you need help, but we are also very, very committed, as you can tell. with our YouTube channel, as well as our emails. Those are free. We have a lot of free educational information and content that we're creating because I strongly believe that the Western industry is underutilizing SEO, and that if I can help all of you raise the bar, even just a little bit, like I said, go do those alt texts, go do the meta descriptions. Those seemingly simple things will make a big difference in your process and getting found on Google. So, all right. Next week's call, same time, we have had a lot of requests for understanding a little bit more about how to get connected and what to know inside Google Analytics, Google Search Console, Google Merchant Center, and Google My Business. So next week, same exact time, we'll be back to give you the intro and what to know about those. Now, as you can imagine, each one of those tools, for those of you, and maybe some of you on our call here today understand this, some of those tools could have a whole day's worth of a conference, so to speak, on educational sessions on simply how to use Google Analytics. So this call will be very focused on trying to help you understand the importance of why you need each of those tools, what they do, and what top things you can learn from them. Once again, Cowgirl Biz's goal here is to help all of you become more successful if you have an e-commerce website and you're trying to sell stuff, these are no-brainers. Yes, they take time. You got to learn them. You got to get connected. All of these things take time. However, if you do get on them and know how to look for the basics and use them to your benefit, it can really help you grow your traffic and know how to make simple changes that can make a big difference. Lexi also on that YouTube I mentioned where she shares her SEO story speaks about having these connected to her site, and Shopify is great. You can speak to this too, Caitlin. Shopify is great because once they are connected, it gives you kind of an analytics section where you can learn quite a bit more about it. So anyway, we hope you join us next week. And if you can join live, that's great. You'll be able to ask questions. And if not, once again, it will go onto our YouTube for you to learn from. All right, here is what's on the YouTube SEO playlist. If you were to hit it today, we have an intro to what the SEO playlist is all about and the beginnings of what I mentioned, SEO, the cowgirl way. And then we have Lexi's sharing her story from passion to profits is her main story of how the SEO, she learned how SEO and embedding that in her website really helped her grow her traffic and her conversions. And then the step-by-step that I mentioned, if you want to refresh some of the things you learned today about alt text and meta descriptions, she does go through how she does that, as well as the reverse image search, which is very helpful for knowing if Google is finding your images the way you want them to. All right. For those of you that have been, and I recognize many of you have been in our Facebook group for a long time, as I've watched all of you grow and learn, and we've dived deep into SEO this summer, you also know, for those, again, those of you that kind of know me from the group, you also know that I like to dream big. And one of my dreams that I've been on the back burner, but I'm like, I think it's time. I think we're going to have some businesses that are ready for this, is I really want to create a small group of businesses that are ready to get into all things ads. I understand ads is not for everybody. However, there are so many successes that I'm observing as I'm listening to industry and outside industry podcasts about the improvements that Meta has done to their ad platform. Yes, it costs money, but there are processes of testing and knowing what audience likes which things, and then you scale. And then also on the Google ads, what that means. So one of my dreams here that we're starting to bring to the forefront, and you guys are the first ones to hear about it, I'm very excited to share, is we're working in August to create a small group of businesses that want to really start their ad process. Maybe you're already doing ads and you want a group to be there for you to determine, you know, what is 40 cents per click a good thing? How does that relate to my reach? Is my, on the Google side of things, is the number of clicks that I'm getting for that price point per day a good thing or a bad thing, or what should I do? So this group is brand new. I need to find out who's interested, who wants to be a part of it, figure out how we're going to do it. All I know is that we're introducing the concept today, and we did make a little mini application. Ideally, you are already on Google Search Console, or at least you're connected, sorry. Ideally, your website is already connected to the things listed on the right-hand side, because and if not, we'll have trainings to help you get there. But this particular group is going to be designed for those that are already either testing ads or ready to test ads. And the reason we want to do this in August is, all of you have been hearing me talk about summer are the slow months. Let's use the summer to get you guys geared up and ready, so that as fall and the holiday season comes, you are ready to go. So Caitlin will be in this group, Lexi will be in this group, I'll be in this group, and some of the clients that have been working with Cowgirl Biz on these particular subjects will be in the group. So we're excited to open it up. Again, I don't know all the details yet, but we hope that those of you that are ready for this will find it very valuable. So, all right, thank you all very much.
Chasing rankings in our boots, Cowgirl Biz is bringing the truth from rodeo dreams to Google Go. Let's get your business